6 books I recommend if you're considering divorce, going through divorce, or trying to end a toxic relationship. These are books that I've been using the last year that have really helped me, especially if you're dealing with somebody with addiction. So I had joined Al-Anon last August, and through that, these are 2 books that come like with the group, and they're like group approved. This one I got like at the meeting, Courage to Change. I still use it every day because it's like numbered for the day. And so it's just like tiny little things to just like help you kind of understand about like turning the focus back to yourself, detaching, things like that. So this is Courage to Change. And then Pathways to Recovery is more like the step-by-step process if you have a loved one in addiction. And this one I actually found used at the Half Price bookstore in Atlanta, but they also sell them at meetings, and meetings are free to go to. This next one, Been There, Got Out. It is by Lisa Johnson and Chris Berry. It's another book I use. Should I stay or should I go? Because there was like a bunch of months I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, things like that. This one I really like too. I underlined a whole lot, and again, like I got it at a used bookstore for like $7. So this one is by Ramani. Ooh, can't say this last name. Hold on. Durvasula. Should I stay or should I go? And just going over like, I mean, there's like a lot of parts like I underlined about red flags and things like that, and just like looking for patterns of like emotional immaturity, narcissism, things like that. I know that's like a big buzzword right now, but yeah. This one is probably one of my favorites though. Should I stay or should I go? Funny enough, same last name as me. So Lundy Bancroft, who's also the author of Why Does He Do That? Now this one's really interesting because it also has like checklists. So if you're going into like different sections of like, am I dealing with somebody that is in the midst of addiction? Am I dealing with someone that is, being unfaithful or, toxic relationship patterns, things like that? Like you can star like which ones are happening, and it'll be like, well, if you checked off this many, you're dealing with someone that probably is blank, blank, blank. You know what I mean? This one really, like, there was one of those moments where I was like, is this fucking play about us? Like, you were like reading it, and they had a whole paragraph example about like a husband that like was a drummer and like felt entitled to like always have all the time and money go towards him trying to like make a career out of it at the expense of his wife and things like that. Or like this whole section here about like mounting secrecy, dishonesty, downward spirals, things like that. So you're just like looking out for patterns, and you're kind of just like, is this what I want to continue in my life? And then the other one is called My Alcoholic Husband Primer, and I already donated that one because I literally read it in like one day. It's very thin, and you can get it on Amazon super cheap, like $15, and that was like not as like medical-ish as some of these other ones. It was just like a lady sharing her story, and I mean, honestly, essentially being like, get out. Like if these things also are happening to you, it will never get better, it will get worse. And then this is how it got worse for me. And like, it was just really useful. And it's like kind of just like someone talking with you, right? It's like somebody just chit-chatting with you instead of it being like very, very structured sentences. It was very chit-chatty. But yeah, these are the 6 books. And then of course, last but not least, like journal. So like journal every single time that you like have a conversation, things like that. Because like what I started to notice were like patterns of behavior, and I could look back into my journals and be like, well, wait, we had this conversation a couple weeks ago and this was said, and now we're having the same conversation again. Because like through a lot of it, you'll start to like question yourself of like, well, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, or like, but I swear that they said this, or like, I swear this was our game plan. And then you can like go back and like keep your head on straight that like, oh, no, I did. Like it's dated here. And like, I wrote about it after that marriage counseling session, or I wrote about it after that meeting with my attorney and things like that. So just, you can like keep everything. And of course, like always just like document. So you're screenshotting everything, keeping a Google Drive of all your proof, all your evidence, just so that like when you get to the point like me where you can like start to share your story and what you went through, you know that you have everything you need, that like, it's not defamation. It's not like all these things did happen. Here is the proof and here's all the evidence. Hi, Amira. And yeah. If you have any questions, I am an open book, happy to share, and hope that whatever you're going through, that it works out the way you need it to. Okay, thanks, bye.